Hey, it's Quentin again, one of the bird managers here at San Antonio Zoo. Turn our radios down. So, as I mentioned earlier today, we are celebrating World Flamingo Day. And with that being said, we're showing a little bit of extra footage of videos that we've done over the previous couple weeks. Earlier, if you missed it, we did a talk over in our big lake area to where we have our large collection of Caribbean flamingos. And this time we're going to go ahead and show you a little bit different species of flamingo, and these are the Graters Flamingos. These guys are native to Africa, and they're actually the most well distributed of the species. If you look at these guys, you're actually going to really notice the color difference from what you saw earlier today. The Caribbean slash the Caribbean flamingos are much brighter in color, whereas if you look at these guys, you're going to see them be a lot less light pink, but they're still going to have the pink tinges on their wings, and then they're going to have black coverts underneath there also. But these guys definitely are not nearly as bright. These guys are the tallest out of all the flamingo species, standing near 5 feet tall. They're also the heaviest. But all the general facts are pretty much going to be the same. These guys are huge flocking animals, so as you can tell, they're really not practicing any type of social distancing. But with that being said, we are definitely keeping these animals safe on a day-to-day basis. So if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to ask. That's what we're here for. Just go ahead and put them in the comment section, and we'll actually go ahead and answer them as they come in. If anyone has a chance, please take the time to make a donation to the San Antonio Zoo. With our doors being closed and us being a non-profit, we definitely are a little bit behind in the funds for the year. We do rely on our guests on a daily basis to provide the care that we give these animals on a daily basis. We'll walk around. You'll also see a few ducks. The ducks that are down here are ruddy ducks. So we'll go ahead and toss out some food. Maybe some of the flamingos will come up. These guys are not as friendly as some of our hand-reared birds that are in Big Lake, but a few of them will kind of come up from time to time. With these guys being the tallest of the species, they can actually wade into slightly deeper water in their natural habitat, so where they can forage a little bit further out than what their counterpart, the lesser flamingo, who are actually the smallest of the flamingo species, which are also found in Africa. So you'll usually see the graters and the lessers in the same territories. And you can definitely tell the difference when you have them side by side, because the lessers are anywhere between 2.5, 3 foot, and these guys are anywhere between 4.5 and 5.
Caden asks, what do flamingos eat?
So flamingos eat a pelleted diet in a zoological setting, but they are omnivores, so they'll pretty much eat anything they can get their little beaks on. They are known as filter feeders, and what that means is you'll actually see them kind of putting their head down in the water and moving it back and forth. What they're doing is actually siphoning the water in and out of their bills, and that's where they actually will get microorganisms, algae, and other little invertebrates, and that's where they'll actually get their diet from.
John and Lisa ask, what are differences in the males and females?
Difference between male and female, visually you can't really tell. We do have to have all of our flamingos DNA sexed, but other than that, sometimes the males will be slightly taller, a little bit broader, but that doesn't necessarily, that's not 100%. I mean, on any given day, I mean, you can have a really tall female and a short male, just like in our day-to-day life. So you'll see a few of these birds kind of showing some of the behaviors that we noticed earlier today with the Caribbean flock. With these birds being flock members, a lot of times they will coordinate with one another. So you'll see a lot of head bobbing back and forth, along with the one in the back just kind of did a ruffle of its feathers, and that's called chrysanthemum. So they pretty much throw their feathers up and it looks like the flower. But these birds, since being flock animals, they will march together, flag, and do a lot of breeding behaviors. But at the same time, this is a smaller group, so we don't see as much as we do with the larger flock of Caribbeans.
Lynn asks, are the ducks and the flamingos friends?
So they tolerate each other. We do have a lot of fly-ins. You'll see a few mallards down in here. Excuse me. The waterfowl, I mean, they're pretty much, I mean, they're used to living with other species. So they're not necessarily too territorial at the end of the day. The only time the flamingos really get territorial is during their breeding season and when they actually have nests. And that's the only time they'll actually kind of have little tiffs with one another.
April asks, where is Mango? She said she adopted him on the website the other day. Is he in here?
Mango is a Caribbean flamingo, so he is actually within our flock of the Caribbeans.
Is that at the front of the zoo or in Big Lake?
The front of the zoo. So earlier some people were asking how do we manage husbandry of these birds. We do offer daily animal husbandry with these animals other than just their feeding. When our keeper staff is actually out doing their routine, they're definitely going in there, getting a visual on every single individual bird, seeing if there's any limps, if anybody's acting off. They notice if there's anybody not eating on a daily basis. Whenever they do that, the first thing they do is they actually get in contact with me, and then we kind of start to observe. Just like you would with your pets at home. If you notice something that's off, you definitely start to notice, and then you go ahead and contact your vet staff. Other than that, we do our annual exams on these birds. So every year in the cooler months, January and February, we actually get our hands on every single bird in the collection within the flamingo collection. That usually is a 4-week process. We schedule out 1 to 2 days per group, and it's pretty much an all hands on deck type scenario. So with that being said, what we do is we actually will catch the birds up, pass them off to a keeper, send them over to our vet staff, which is usually in the vicinity, and then we do our blood draws, we do physical exams, everything that you would have to do on a day-to-day with your annual pet exams.
Lila wants to know, can flamingos fly, and if so, how far?
Flamingos can fly. They can fly across the continent. So species, depending on where you are, some of the species will fly, some of the African species will fly from South Africa up into Northern Africa. So, I mean, hundreds and thousands of miles. One of the cooler things that you'll see in this exhibit is they have a little bit deeper water, and you can actually watch these guys kind of, other than just waiting, they actually just kind of swim, which is always kind of interesting just to see them with their feet kicked back. So they are kind of just long-legged waterfowl at the end of the day, which are ducks.
Destiny asks, if we buy a membership to the zoo, does that money go back to them?
So the day-to-day membership, I mean, that goes in to support everything at the zoo. the day-to-day care. It's not just the animals that we're caring for on a daily basis. And we have our grounds upkeep, we have keeper salaries, everything like that. But majority of our animals definitely always come first. We do our best to give them the most nutritious food. We give them enrichment items. We give them the best medical care that you possibly could. Exotic animal care is not the easiest or cheapest. So yes, at the end of the day, every dollar spent at the zoo does go to support the animals. So again, I wanted to thank everybody to come out today and just watch for World Flamingo Day. If there's any questions at all, please feel free to comment and we will try to get answer all the questions. And if you do have any if you have the ability to make a donation today, we would really appreciate it. There should be a little link in the bottom of the screen, and you can just actually click on that and do a donate now. And again, we really do appreciate it. So everybody have a great day. Thank you.